What's poppin', everybody? It's your boy Doda, and welcome to episode 5 of Inside Deez Mindz. A couple months ago, in 2018, between the months of October and November, I've had the pleasure and opportunity, with the help of a classmate of mine, Lisa, whom you may remember co-hosting with me for episode 2 of the show with a guest covered her. This episode's guest is known for being in movies such as Don John, as well as television shows like Broad City, Family Guy, Who's the Boss, and Netflix original series The Good Cop. Other than being an actor, the guest is also a singer. This actor/singer's name is Tony Danza. This episode is fun to do as he is the first Hollywood celebrity to be interviewed on the show. Enjoy.
Okay, so Tony, you're going to be coming to the Algonquin Commons Theatre tomorrow with the Standards and Stories. I'm just wondering, how long has it been touring?
This particular, I've been doing this. I've been doing this for over 20 years. But this particular iteration, when you go to New York, when you do a cabaret act, whenever you go to New York, you have to write a new act.
Okay.
And so this is the last one I wrote, but it's actually been the most successful. It's been well received, and I've been taking it all over. I just got back from the Midwest. I was in Oshkosh and St. Joseph, Missouri, and St. Charles, Illinois, and Williamsport, and I've just been taking it all over, and I'm going to Canada. I'm going to Canada, so the show is taking me all over the place.
So what are some songs that people can look forward to hearing?
Well, I think more importantly than me giving you my set list is that you understand what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
It's called Standards and Stories, and that's pretty self-explanatory because that's what it is, a bunch of personal and professional stories using some songs to enhance the emotion that we're trying to evoke. And then, given the arc of the show, we try to get to a connection with the audience. And then I get to throw in a little tap dancing, and I get to use my secret weapon. My secret weapon is my ukulele.
Oh, really?
By the way, I'm standing on the corner of Hudson and Houston in New York City.
Okay.
So that's why it's so noisy.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, but basically, one of the things I've learned over these so many years of trying to do this is that the only thing you can really do, you can't go up to succeed. You can't go up to have a guy see you. Maybe you'll get another job. You can't think of any of that. You just have to go up and really enjoy yourself, really have the best time, and enjoy the gifts that you're getting. I'm telling you, the more I do that, the more people seem to enjoy it. And it's just, I can't wait for, I just can't wait to do it for you.
Okay, so it's more about just creating a great experience.
That's right.
Cool. And I
That's
have doubt.
right. Yeah, it's old world entertainment, too, in a way. It's a throwback.
Well, I saw...
you think about... The other night I was in Staten Island at the St. George Theatre on a Sunday night. Oh, a big truck going by. And I had over 600 people there on a Sunday night. And you'd think with all the choices that you have for entertainment now, that's pretty good to get people to come out. And so you got to really give them something when they do. And that's what I try to do.
Yeah, that sounds like a great night. And I actually saw on YouTube, I checked out some of the show, and I saw that you do the song A Very Good Year by Frank Sinatra, and I absolutely love that song.
Don't you love it? It's amazing. You know the story
amazing.
of that.
I don't.
He did that in one take.
Really?
He did that in one take, yes.
Wow.
He walked into the studio, he picked up the music, and they did it. And when they finished the first take, he went, all right, that's it, I'm going home.
Of course.
Something.
And I also have Dowda with me here, and he's got a few questions for you as well about the show.
Hey, Tony. Hey, Tony, how's it going?
Good. Thank you. I'm good. Thank you.
All right, so what were some of the key factors whenever you're performing live with your band?
Well, the most important thing, as I said to
Lisa.
As I said, is I'm sorry, Lisa. All of a sudden, it was Deidre. I don't know why.
That's okay, Deidre, Lisa.
As I said to Lisa, you really have to not. I used to go up. Oh God, I'm going to succeed. I got to be good. I got to do. And now I just go up and just try to have a good time. And that revelation makes you so much better, So that's one thing. The other thing is that, I have a couple of things. I got lucky about 3 years ago. This all sort of came together. It's a product of doing the show for over 20 years and trying things and singing in a performing arts center one night and singing a ballad as the roller coaster goes by the next. But that's the only way you can really learn how to do this, And about 3 years ago, I got lucky, too. I needed a music director, a piano player.
Really?
And my drummer said, why don't you try this guy? And they called up this guy, John Oddo, O-D-D-O.
Okay.
And he was Rosemary Clooney's musical director. And he's so good. His arrangements are so amazing that he made me a lot better than I was. So it's just like this, all this stuff converging at the right time. It feels really good.
All right. So whenever you're performing in front of people, what were some of the ups and downs you encountered?
Well, it used to put a lot of pressure on yourself, and when look, I'll be honest with you, I don't have the greatest pipes, but I'm a good singer. But if you don't have the greatest pipes, it takes a long time to feel confident enough and comfortable enough to be the best you can be.
That is true.
And so that takes some time. I think people that sing in public will understand that. And now, I got to the point where I feel pretty comfortable up there all the time.
All right.
And so that's part of the growth. That's part of the what do you call it? You improve by performing. You develop by performing.
All right. And also, how much fun are you having doing something you love for like a long time?
That's. Let me tell you, this is the thing I love to do most. I really wish. The only thing I really wish, the only thing that really breaks my heart is I wish my mother could see me now, because I know she would love this more than anything.
She will be proud.
It's a real chance. It's a real chance to pay homage to a different kind of entertainment that we have much of now. It's an attempt. It's my the greatest thing I like to do is I like to sing and dance. So I get to do that. I mean, I just can't tell you how doing what you love is pretty good. Somebody said it's hard work, but my father would say it's lovely work.
Mm-hmm. Good advice for sure.
And also, what were some of the instruments you end up playing growing up?
Well, I never had much. I didn't have any musical training. I just wasn't interested. I don't know what the heck it was. But lately, now the ukulele's come in my life now. It's another big truck. It's about 2006. But I play a little piano. I blow the horn a little bit. I play a little bit of trumpet. But I never did it as a kid. It's all late in life endeavors. Like, I didn't start tap dancing until I was 32.
Oh, wow.
In Taxi. Yeah, I was in Taxi. We did a show where we pretended to tap dance. Mm-hmm. I said, I got to learn how to do this. So I went and got myself a great teacher named Pat Rico, and I've been studying ever since.
All right.
So speaking of shows, do you mind if we touch on The Good Cop?
I wish we would.
Okay, so The Good Cop, your new Netflix original series, it started September 21st. 10 episodes so far. I've heard great things. Are you expecting a second season?
Well, I mean, let's say we're hopeful for a second season. But, I've been doing this a long time. This is the 40th anniversary of Taxi.
Yeah.
And when you're doing it a long time, that people could say how great things are. Oh, what a wonderful show! It's so this, it's so that, and then it gets canceled.
Okay.
So I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm stoic about it, I think.
Well, I'm gonna check it out for sure. I for one grew up watching Who's the Boss, which currently we're binge watching it at my sister's house. So big fan of Who's the Boss.
That's great. Well, I'm very proud of that show.
Yeah, it's a great show.
I'm so proud of that show. I really am. I mean, somebody said to me the other day, you think about, one of the things I like about The Good Cop is you can watch it with your family.
Yes.
Now, my son has 2 boys, 7 and 13. He sat down with the kids. Dad, I don't remember the last time I watched something with my kids. We all got something out of it. It's unbelievable. So that's the thing. And I think when I was doing Who's the Boss, I was really, really concerned with the message.
Okay.
I didn't want to proselytize. I didn't want to preach. But I wanted to be sure that I was sending a good message to all these kids that were watching the show.
Yeah.
And so, I believe in that. And unfortunately, not many people understand that with great influence comes great responsibility.
Yeah, Mona was a little risque, but overall, it was a great family show.
Yeah, it was a lot of innuendo. Yeah. And by the way, you mentioned Catherine Hellman. How wonderful!
Very wonderful.
I can't tell you what a marvelous, unbelievable woman and person, human. She's my soulmate. I love her so much.
So Tony,
by the way, she's 89 years old now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Tony, is there anything else that you want?
Years ago.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I can tell you one more thing I'm working on.
Yeah.
I've been. I really think it's so much harder to be a kid nowadays. Mm-hmm. I remember when I was a kid, I had a stress-free childhood, but I don't think many kids are having that now. And I'm working with the Police Athletic League here in the city, the PAL, and we started an acting program, teen acting, because when you teach a kid how to act, you teach a kid how to act. And the program has expanded from 12 reluctant kids in Harlem to over 250 kids, and we're recruiting in all 5 boroughs. The hope is to have an acting program, after-school acting program in every precinct of the city. And now we've just put together what I think is going to be the greatest promotional tool of all time. You ready? Mm-hmm. It's called the PAL Cops and Kids Chorus.
Oh, wow.
I got police officers. I got police officers and young people singing together. Who wouldn't want to sing that? See that, I mean.
Yeah, that sounds really nice, yeah.
It's also a good way to give back to the community. Trying to bridge
that intractable problem that we have. Young people, especially of color, and the police.
Okay.
And it's really important that we somehow break that cycle.
Yeah, this sounds like a really important and positive thing to be doing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much for talking with us, Tony. Is there any other messages or anything else you want to add before you go?
I just hope people will come out, and I'll try to do the best I can and give you your money's worth, because that's what you deserve. And if not, just feel free to steal something on the way out. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Tony, for speaking with us.
And I hope you enjoy being in Canada for one night.
I can't wait. All right, sir. Take it easy. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Bye-bye. Tony Danza, Standards and Stories at the Algonquin Commons Theatre tomorrow evening. Doors open at 7:30. Show starts at 8. For tickets, go to algonquinsa.com.
Man, interviewing Tony has been a great experience for Lisa and I, since he is a very humble person to talk to, from his life, his ups and downs, his influences and inspirations. This interview is one of those opportunities where you grab every chance you get. First of all, shout out to Lisa for being a part of this interview. You can follow her on Instagram and Twitter at Leela Dawn. If you liked this episode and want to listen to the previous ones as well as episode 6, follow me on my SoundCloud, which is soundcloud.com/DawodaDumbia, and go to my YouTube channels and subscribe, which is youtube.com/MrLegoman2007. Follow me on my personal socials, starting with both Twitter and Snapchat at Naruto Nerdherd, and my Instagram at YodaDawodaForce29. Don't forget to follow Inside Deez Mindz official Twitter and Instagram pages at Inside Deez Mindz, all in lowercase. And as always, see you later.